Welcome back to This Is the Live, the Sunday talk show, here on the Arise News channel. Still with me in the studio today, Professor David Aworawo, Professor of International Relations and Strategic Studies at the University of Lagos, and Jide Ologun, legal practitioner, National Development Advocate, and Fellow, Institute of Leadership Coaching and Strategy. Now to our third topic of the day, the Super Eagles of Nigeria will later today in Rabat, Morocco, at 8 p.m., 8 o'clock in the evening, to be precise, face the Democratic Republic of Congo in the final of Africa's 2026 World Cup playoffs after they defeated Cameroon in one of the semi-finals. The Super Eagles whitewashed Gabon 4-1 in the first semi-final playoff game. Let's take a look at the preview.
The Super Eagles of Nigeria are back in training after last night's victory against Gabon. As you can see behind me, a bulk of the players are those who have fewer playing time or did not play at all. They are now training, and we'll see the rest of the team also coming into the training. What is important to note is that the Super Eagles have an all-important clash on Sunday against DR Congo. A DR Congo who have been very strong this World Cup qualifiers. They defeated Cameroon in dying moments to ensure that they seal their spot in the finals against Nigeria. Nigeria, against all, defeated Gabon. But one thing is sure is the players have said that they are not going to be complacent against a DR Congo side.
First, we had the first game, which was the first step. And yes, we won the game. And now we already know that what is at stake. We know that this is another step closer to the World Cup. So we just keep the same spirit, the same energy that we used in the first game, and we try to maintain the same energy and focus in the second game to make sure we get the victory, because with that we're one step closer to the World Cup. So we want to achieve our dreams.
Some have opined that maybe Cameroon could have been an easier bet or more difficult bet against them, but they say they will go all out. For the Francophone countries have always been countries that give the Super Eagles problems, but they will put in all the energy, all the effort. And should they play the way they've played in the last two games against Benin Republic and against Gabon, they could do the job. It's now back-to-back games, getting 4 goals scored for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Can they get that against DR Congo? Well, only time will tell. This team want to put in their best, and the coach himself has been able to manage a side that have not lost a game since he took charge. We'll see what happens on Sunday, but we'll bring you more reports from Morocco. I'm Abi, I'm reporting for Rise News.
Toyin Ibitoye is a former media officer for the Super Eagles of Nigeria and a one-time special assistant on new media to the Minister of Sports. He joins me now to talk us through Super Eagles' chances in tonight's game and other hurdles that must be crossed for Nigeria to get to the Mondial, which will be held next year in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. Good to have you on This Day Live on Sunday.
Thank you very much. Thank you for this opportunity.
The Eagles are facing the Leopards of DRC today in Rabat, Morocco. The final of the semi-finals, the playoffs. And if we win, we'll go for the International Continental Playoffs in March next year. And if we win there, then of course we'll make it to the World Cup. Now, who will beat who today? The Eagles or the Leopards?
Yeah, well, of course we are anticipating and praying. Thank God it's a Sunday. We've gone to church. We've prayed.
What has church got to do with it?
Whatever can help us. But I'm optimistic that we can get a good result today. We can win this game. And my optimism has stemmed out of the fact that the team has been improving. Our World Cup campaign was terrible, was really poor. Drawing games at home against the likes of Lesotho, the likes of Zimbabwe, losing to Benin Republic, not winning at home against South Africa and all of it. But since this new manager came on board, this Eric Schell, Malian, Frenchman Malian, came on board, I think there's been marked improvement in the quality of our football. From struggling to score 1 goal per game, we scored 2 against Lesotho, and then we scored 4 against Benin Republic. and then we scored 4 against Gabon. Our last 2 games, we scored 4 goals. So it looks like something is beginning to gel for the team. And on the basis of that, I believe that the team can only get better, and that today we will see an improvement on what we saw against Gabon. And one thing I know from my many years of working with the Super Eagles is that once we are able to get our boys to give 100%, we are usually unstoppable. So tonight, I'm hoping that our boys will be in that kind of mood that we saw against Benin Republic and Gabon. If we're in that kind of mood, Congo DR won't stop us. Okay.
4 qualifying matches, we had just 3 points, right?
The first 4, yeah, it was really terrible.
Under Finidi George and Jose Pesero. Now, Eric Chell took the job that nobody wanted. And we have had 5 wins, 4 draws, I think.
One draw.
One draw
Yeah.
under him. So you think that is the coach that is making the difference, and that perhaps this is a comment on the competence of Jose Pesero and Finidi George, because it's basically the same team, the same Super Eagles team.
If we had started our first 4 games the way we ended the last 4 games in the regular playoffs, I mean, the story would have been different. We'll have qualified for the World Cup many match days ago. I don't really want to say it's reflection on the incompetence of the other coaches. I'll probably say maybe we're not patient enough to see them, work on the team. Because Pesero's first game was a 2-0 win away to Rwanda, and then he came home and drew against Zimbabwe, But then after that draw against Zimbabwe, it's been up, and up. So Pesero, after his poor start to the World Cup qualifying campaign, took us to the Africa Cup of Nations and came close to winning it. Finished with a silver medal. So it's just that there's now been a change of attitude, and we're beginning to see it on the pitch, and it's beginning to give us good results. So I believe if we continue to build on this good result that we've seen in the last couple of games, then today we should have enough in our tank to get over Congo DR.
Okay, I mean, the Super Eagles are the clear favorites. They are looking for an opportunity to go to the World Cup the 7th time. The last time DRC made it to the World Cup was in 1974.
Their first and only time.
Now they are looking for a second opportunity. But we saw them beating
Cameroon,
1-0, almost at the very last minute, 89th minute. So do you think we should just say, well, Nigeria is the big favorite. We have all the stars. We have Akwa Adams. We have Osimhen. We have all the big names. So should we just relax and say it's a done deal?
No,
who is DRC?
No, that would be a grave error. I mean, because Congo DR are not here by accident. They are a very, very decent side. I mean, beating Cameroon in the last game, I mean, is a pointer to the fact that they are also hungry. They also want to go to the World Cup. Probably it's a battle of who wants it the more, Nigeria or Congo DR. They are very physical players. They are very rugged. They are very strong. It's not going to be an easy game. I'm not expecting an easy game at all. Even the 4-1 win over Gabon was not an easy game because for a large amount of time in the second half, we were on the back foot. And then they equalized in the 89th minute and dragged the game into extra time. And when Osimhen started missing those sitters, everybody started to feel like, is this not going to be our day? So it wasn't particularly an easy game. And I'm not expecting that Congo DR will be an easy game at all. This is a very crucial point in the World Cup qualifying campaign because when you qualify from Africa, there is a likelihood that the kind of teams you'll be playing at the intercontinental playoffs may not even be as tough as the teams that you had encountered in Africa. So this game is not going to be an easy one at all. It's a rumble. I mean, in the 70s we had the Zaire, Muhammad Ali, George Foreman rumble in the jungle. That's a rumble that we're having in Rabat today. So it's going to be a massive, massive encounter, and you have to really want to go to the World Cup, and it must show. In terms of pedigree, yes, we have better players, I mean, in every department of the team. but they also have some decent players who are also playing in Europe, have experience. Their captain, Cancel Mbempa, who scored the winning goal against Cameroon, is a very seasoned traveler in Europe. You have Bakambu, who is playing in Spain. You have Wiza, who is playing in the English Premier League. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, the former Manchester United player, who has moved away now to, I think, is it Aston Villa or somewhere in the Premier League. They are very seasoned players in Europe as well. So it really comes down to who wants it the more. And I think it's not going to be a rollover. It's not going to be a stroll in the park. You have to fight for it, and the hungrier side probably will be getting it.
You said you were in church this morning to go and pray. So what's your prediction? What visions appeared to you?
The vision, let me not say it's my vision. Let me say what I want. Let me say it's what I want. Of course, I want a Nigerian victory. A 1-0 win will be good for me, but I think we will do more than 1-0. I think we will, maybe 2-0. Let me go with 2-0.
Okay. This optimism, is it based on the fact that the Super Eagles have been promised $50,000
per goal?
And they've been told that having beaten Gabon, they will get, is it $120,000? They
got it after the game.
Oh, they've already collected it.
They collected it after the game.
Are we playing for the bonus, for money? The same bonus they were denied
I know
48 hours to the match.
I know players very well. They don't joke with their bonuses.
Okay.
They don't joke with it. But the biggest motivation for the players is playing for your country and the opportunity to play at the World Cup. I was lucky to be a part of the team. I was a media officer when we went to the World Cup in 2018. In Nigeria, you may be owed allowances and bonuses, but when you win games, what you get at the end of the day is usually more in folds of what you are being owed. Because one philanthropist somewhere will be promising you cash, another one could be promising you houses, another person could come and say, win this game, and just like this person that is promising 50,000. If that is true,
maybe I should start considering a change of career. I can run up and down.
We'll probably create a new tournament.
Goals.
We'll create a new tournament for over 60s, and we don't know what name we'll call it. Maybe Papa Eagles or something. But money should be the last, form of motivation for these boys. It is the opportunity to do Nigeria proud and to go to the World Cup as a player. That's the highest level of football, the World Cup. So that, I believe, is the primary motivation. The money becomes secondary. And of course, the joy that you bring to Nigerians is also something that you can quantify.
Okay, Ibitoye, well, just before we go, and very briefly, you were media officer to the NFF.
To the Super Eagles.
To the Super Eagles. Yes. You worked also more or less. Yes. You had an idea of what the Nigerian Football Federation has been doing or was doing or not doing. We hear that there are issues with grants from FIFA and CAF. And questions have been raised about the stadium in Kebbi, FIFA sponsored, and the stadium in Ugborodo in Delta State, also sponsored by FIFA. So this issue of bonuses, allowances, and mismanagement, misappropriation, misapplication of funds, why is it a major issue in the football house?
Well, I'm sure that a lot of stakeholders have been asking questions, and there have been a lot of reactions and all of it. And the House Committee on Sports also wants to look into all of this. So I, for one, believe that FIFA funds are very difficult to mismanage because there are processes that are in place and they get involved personally in monitoring what you do with whatever they provide you. And then I know also that the Nigerian Football Federation, right from the time of Amaju Pinnick, after some initial slips in terms of expending cash, making payments in cash, put in a lot of structures to ensure that there is a lot more probity, a lot more transparency. And we have to give it to Amaju Pinnick for that. They got PricewaterhouseCoopers as auditors who audit these funds annually, and then they ensure that cash payments were no longer made. Everything has to be done through transfers. And the interesting thing about the NFF is that they have accountants who are seconded to the NFF from the Accountant General of the Federation's office. So there is no way funds can go without them being monitored and being tracked. So I don't want to talk about the politics and the disagreements and the issue that is in court around the FIFA forward funds with the Borodu issue, but I'm sure that the NFF can give a detail of what has come in, look through the auditor's report, and be able to give an account of how they spend the money. But the most important thing, you know, when we win games, like tonight's game, and we qualify for the World Cup, then everybody can, you know, look at the NFF and say, look, we are still going to come back to you, but at least we give you a clean bill of health that you have secured the World Cup ticket, which is what we are praying for.
Well, thank you very much, Ibitoye, as a man who has been in the arena and who still follows this subject very closely.
Thank you very much, sir.
I think we can, you know, take your perspective very seriously as a man who knows what he's talking about. Thank you very much indeed for joining us on This Live, the Sunday Talk Show.